Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ambassador Ruga, thank you very much for your kind introduction and hospitality. These are significant times for global peace and for stability in the Middle East. Challenges emerge alongside historic events that are reshaping the region. Partnerships are being built between leaders. Peace is forged between countries, and friendships are made between people. Peace is achieved by courageous leaders, such as His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed and His Majesty King Ahmad al Khalifa, whom I had the great honor of visiting just a couple of weeks ago. It is also led by leaders such as King Mohammed VI of Morocco. I will never forget the collective prayer we held in the synagogue in Rabat, praying for the well-being of the king and at the same time praying for Israel's peace and security. I carry this prayer with me here today. This is the time to thank the previous U.S. leadership and former Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu for achieving the Abraham Accords, and to thank the current U.S. administration and European partners who are assisting Israel in expanding and deepening ties with partners in the region and for investing in the security of the Middle East. We are opening the gates of the Middle East to cooperation that will strengthen our economies, spread innovation, and contribute to a regional stability and security. Our hands are extended in peace to new brave leaders in the region who are prepared to develop relations with Israel, and I am certain it will not be long before these partnerships are built and exposed. As a former chief of defense forces and as the leader of Israel's defense establishment, I must say my delight and honor were exceptional where I landed in Morocco, Bahrain, and other countries and was received with so much warmth. Let me tell you this. In war, the winner gets to lose as well. In peace, we are all winners. Now, as clouds of war are gathered above us, it is the responsibility of the world leaders to spread calm, to promote discourse, and to uphold the principles that will preserve world peace and security. This should be the approach towards the conflict in Ukraine, and I call on all parties, even if we are in the last minutes, everything must be done to prevent bloodshed. We are currently at critical times for global security, as well for the stability and peace in the Middle East. Iranian aggression is rising, not just in nuclear program, but also in its regional attacks. Iran takes over failed states, forcing them to defend Iranian interests while committing severe human rights violations. We view with great concern the attacks conducted against our partners in the region, attacks that, according to our assessments, are being carried out under the guidance and approval of Iranian leadership, employing weapons, some of which are produced in Iran, and implementing know-how, operational know-how gained in Iran. We also see what is happening in Iraq when Iran is currently trying to intervene with its Quds force in center of influence, despite the loss of their supporters in the last elections. Iran exploits civilian flights from Tehran to Damascus International Airport to transport weapons under the illusions of civilian equipment. Iran also endangers the life of innocent civilians by transferring weapons in containers that arrived to the port of Latakia. Iran violates the freedom of navigation. Even worse, Iranian UAV attacks have claimed innocent lives, such as the British and Romanian civilian killed in the Mercer Street attack off the Gulf Coast. Iran also endangers civilian flight, which could be hit by UAVs that cannot change courses. Iran is responsible for arming proxies in Lebanon and undermining the country's governance. Just last week in Israel, we saw a number of Hezbollah attempts to violate Israel's sovereignty. In this context, I have a clear message for Hezbollah. Their operatives are familiar with the noise made by our airplanes and with their capabilities. If we are required to respond to the attack in order to defend ourselves, we will do so, and we will cause great damage to the terror organization and its surroundings. The state of Lebanon will unfortunately have to be held responsible. We will not hesitate to act anytime and anywhere to secure Israel, to ensure Israel's security. In facing such challenges, we must stand strong, united, determined. A nuclear deal, if signed with Iran, does not mark the end of the road. Action must be taken to ensure that Iran does not continue to enrich its additional facilities, and oversight must be increased. It is essential that the IAEA continues to investigate and monitor the open files. We must ensure that the advanced centrifuges are not found in other facilities. Development of ballistic missiles capable of carrying nuclear warheads must be stopped. It is critical that the sunset clause is not understood as an expiration date that enables Iran to revisit its nuclear ambitions. All steps must be taken to ensure that Iran never becomes a nuclear threshold state. The world must never come to terms with it, and Israel will never come to terms with it. Distinguished guests, in 1987, US President Reagan arrived in Berlin. From the Reichstag building, he saw a graffiti spray painted on the Berlin Wall that said, "This wall will fall, for it cannot withstand fate." We as leaders have a duty to believe in peace and partnership between our nations. It is imperative to bring down the walls between us. The stronger and more united we stand as partners, the more we cooperate in facing challenges, the greater peace, stability, and prosperity we will enjoy. We must strive for peace, for our people, and security for our countries. Thank you.